Welcome to Adare Manor Golf Resort, situated in the southwest of Ireland, only 35 miles from Shannon Airport. The Adare Golf Club is an 18-hole championship golf course which opened in 1995 and is set on the 840-acre estate of Adare Manor Hotel and Golf Resort in County Limerick, Ireland. Hole 1 is a par 4 444 yards, a superb challenge. The opening hole demands a good drive down the left side of the fairway to provide the best chance of hitting the green with your second. Described as one of the finest golf holes in golf. 144 yards from the green, and use enough club to carry the winding creek that protects the front, and don't be too long as a troublesome pitch shot awaits. The first green is severely sloped middle to left and middle to right. Hole 2 is a par 4 426 yards. This par 4 requires your drive down the right side to avoid the fairway bunker on the left and set up your approach shot to the green. 146 yards, a long to mid-iron is required to hit this green, which is protected by a large pine tree to the right and a large greenside bunker to the left. The second green has contours front, back and right. Hole 3 is a par 4 403 yards, a slight dogleg left, a hole where precision is required. Anything too far right and you're staring at a bogey. 138 yards, your second shot is hitting into a slightly elevated green where the ball tends to fall right. There is one bunker to avoid, front left. The third green has a slope from back left to front right. Hole 4 is a par 3 178 yards. The first of the 4 challenging par 3s at Adare, although at index 17, this hole poses its own dangers, with the river Meg to the back. Long is out of the question here, a high tee shot for soft landings. The fourth green is a large, gently sloping green. Hole 5 is a par 4 421 yards. The tee shot on this index 1 uphill par 4 must be considered for the big hitter. A long draw taking on the bunker on the right-hand side of the fairway will set up an ideal approach shot, but beware of the prevailing wind, which can make this shot difficult. 162 yards from the green and a severely uphill approach shot to a large blind green will have to carry the large front bunkers. The fifth green slopes from middle to front right and middle to front left. Hole 6 is a par 3 203 yards, a superb downhill par 3. The optimum tee shot is to the right-hand side of this very deep green, which is dictated by a severe swale. The sixth green is one of the biggest breaking putts on the course. Good luck. Hole 7 is a par 5, 528 yards. The first of the par 5s. Do not bite off more than you can chew with this drive. The carry is deceptively long. The 14-acre lake awaits any errant drive. For most players, the safe play is to place your tee shot right of the fairway bunker. 297 yards, and the only safe way to hit this green in 2 is to carry the ball all the way to the green, and if in doubt, lay up. 108 yards, and the only advice here is to stay left. Anywhere right could cost you any chance of what would be a well-earned par. The seventh green is a 2-tiered green from left to right. Hole 8 is a par 4 419 yards. This tee shot requires a nice draw off the manor house that will leave you in prime position to attack the green. 129 yards and playing into an elevated and exposed green. That means this hole is playing one club longer. There are 2 bunkers, one front right and one front left. The 8th green has contours left and right. Hole 9 is a par 5, 577 yards. Get the camera out. The manor house serves as a magnificent backdrop, and the spire is a good line to take, although down the right side does give the best angle for your approach shot. 269 yards and a layup front right would be recommended for the shorter hitters. Big hitters will have to carry a bunker front left to set up a rewarding birdie chance. 163 yards from the green, and be careful, over the back of this green and you could be visiting the pet cemetery. The 9th green is undulated, leaving all putts tricky. Hole 10 is a par 4, 436 yards. Aim your drive down the left half of the fairway. Avoid the two well-placed bunkers on the right, some 250 yards from the tee. 137 yards and a precise second shot is required to a narrow, well-guarded green. Any shot bouncing off the far left edge of the green will kick towards the water. The 10th green has a fallback left and slopes from middle to right. Hole 11 is a par 3, 179 yards, a picturesque par 3 across the River Meg to a long green guarded by bunkers. Any shot to the right of this green and you're swimming. The 11th green is a long two-tiered green. Hole 12 is a par 5, 551 yards, an uphill par 5 with a double dogleg to the left. Your drive should be played to the right of the bunker, where a large landing area awaits. 246 yards, and your second shot should be played to leave an approach of 120 yards. Taking on the green is a high risk and could cost you par. If you land, you will be rewarded. 156 yards from the green, and from this point, to score well, the shot is to the middle of this well-protected green. The 12th green slopes from middle to front and middle to back left. Hole 13 is a par 4, 433 yards. What can only be described as one of the best par 4s in the country. This tree-lined, dog-legged right requires your Sunday best. 152 yards from the green, there is a little gap front right for the ball to filter on, but accuracy will be required to avoid the well-positioned bunkers, front right and front left. The 13th green, and beware of the subtle breaks. Hole 14 is a par 4, 421 yards. This is a dogleg left, and your tee shot landing anywhere down the left of the fairway will increase your birdie chances. 204 yards from the green and playing into an exposed elevated green protected by bunkers and water to the right. The 14th green is a large undulated green. Putting will depend on pin position. Hole 15 is a par 4, 378 yards, the shortest of the par 4s, with the tidal River Meg running down right. A drive at the left greenside bunker will afford the easiest approach to the green, being overlooked by the manor house. 146 yards, and safe play would be to stay left to avoid water, but that could end up in sand. Be brave and play centre of the green, and you could be setting up a birdie. The 15th green is undulated, but if the pin is at the front, putting will be tricky. Hole 16 is a par 3, 167 yards. If you're in between clubs here, go for the longer one. A little long is no problem, a little short, and a watery grave awaits. A par on this hole will make even a pro smile. The 16th green is a long green left to right, and don't be surprised with 3 putts. Hole 17 is a par 4, 413 yards. A straightaway tree-lined par 4. Being long or left will force a difficult recovery shot. 209 yards and an accurate approach required with trees surrounding the green and a well-placed sand trap front left. Play for the heart of the green. The 17th green is a long, narrow, firm green. Hole 18 is a par 5, 548 yards. Wow! Our signature hole is described as one of the finest finishing par 5s in golf, with the majestic River Meg flowing alongside the fairway. A long straight drive down the left side offers the best opportunity to get home in 2. 261 yards and a layup short of the bunkers will leave you with a mid to short iron to a green overlooked by the historic Cedar of Lebanon. 105 yards, and they say a relation in the golf ball industry is a big plus on this hole. This shot is all about knowing your distance and believing in your swing. Don't be short. The 18th green falls middle to front left and middle to back right. Par this hole, and you will walk in smiling. We hope you enjoyed our tour of Adare Manor Golf Resort, and we hope you enjoy your stay.